On off, on off.
Money check. We can sit here too if you want. Oh, you're off.
Let's go.
The Experiment. My name is Elisha Tiga, and this is The Experiment.
Sounds like we waited a long time to say
Before I move on, I wanna dedicate this. I wanna dedicate this show to our drummer. Everybody give a big hand for Keith. We went through a lot tonight. So he made it. He's really rolled of the night. But it's like, I mean, for him as well, and also like for the music that we're gonna be playing tonight, specifically like Bornean music. It's very rhythmic and it's a lot of rhythmic elements to it. So without him, like we're really like we sound checked without him just now. We were like, oh man, it sounds so empty. We need a drummer. No. But then it just shows how like how important it is. Like whatever it is, high and low, this music is like is for the drummer. It's by the drummer. It's for the drummer kind of thing. So yeah, I just wanna like give a special highlight to Keith as well for just. So yeah, that first song is called Busak Baku. It's a song from the Moroy indigenous tribe in Borneo. So I mean to keep the story short, Busak Baku in our language. I'm Moroy by the way. It roughly translates to beautiful flower. So yes, Busak Baku. Yeah, because traditionally our puak is we really highlight, we really give a lot of credit to the Moroy women in our tribe. So this song actually traditionally is meant to really highlight that the women in our tribe as well, like their beautiful flowers kind of thing. But yeah, that's the story behind that song. I'm gonna be talking a lot tonight because I'm sure many of you are not really familiar with these kind of songs. So I think it's just a good chance for, at least for me and for all of us to kind of like share the stories behind our songs. It's the same way as how songwriters share their songs as well, but we're sharing songs that are like songwriters from like 100 years ago, 200 years. But yeah, hopefully tonight we kind of just give justice to these songs and to really retell the stories what these songs mean. So we're gonna move on to the next song. This song is called Umaruma, and it's another Murut song, but it's specifically Bruneian Murut. So this song roughly translates to enter a house. So we usually do this for housewarming parties. All right. So this is Umaruma. All right. Yeah, so that's Umak Rumah. For that song, a special highlight to our subject player for tonight. Lofrin. The crazy thing about Lofrin is this is her first show with a band. Yeah. Yeah, so for those who may not know, the sape instrument is traditionally a solo instrument. So it's good for the introverts. Like, I'm an introvert, and when I play the sape myself, it heals me. Yeah, and it's a healing sound. It's naturally a healing sound. Well, I mean, the other part is like, I mean, at least for the Muruts, we have drinking problems back then. So it's very drony, so you know where it's going. Yeah. So yeah. But yes, that was Umak Rumah, and now we'll move on to the next song. We're going to Sarawak this time.
Yay.
Okay, so this song is, Mia might not heard about it. It's a very popular song from Sarawak. It's a very popular song. Played on the sape. It's made famous by a lot of people. This song is called Leleng. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go. story about the song from Lofrin. Uh, I kind of roughly know what the story is, but if she doesn't mind, maybe she can share us about like tell them like what you told us about this song, what it actually means.
Okay, as a context, Leleng is a popular song in the Orang Ulu community in Sarawak. And it's a welcoming song, like you welcome the guests to the longhouse. And Leleng is a chorus. So after that, the aunties, as you go around the longhouse dancing, it goes like they're like, we welcome you to this house, to this longhouse. Hope you have a good time among friends, things like that. But the lyrics to Leleng is Leleng, Leleng, Otan Along, Leleng, Otan Along, Leleng. Otan Along is actually the name of an orphan. Otan or Uyao in the Orang Ulu language means orphan. So I told Elisha, well, technically, it's about Otan Along or Uyao Along dancing her tears, her sadness away. So Leleng means spin or turn. So she spins and she dances and as her tears roll down. So yeah.
Welcoming.
You're welcome. House.
So essentially a sad song.
Huh?
A sad song.
The origin, yeah, but like as time goes on, it became kind of like a song of a joyous occasion.
Interesting.
Yeah, as we kind of like work on these songs. This is the first time we've been playing together like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing to kind of like work on these songs, trying to find our footing in the songs and everything, and everybody just shows their own color. But yeah, as a reward for Lofin for talking, she will have a short break. And this is all spontaneous. Yeah, because we're gonna be playing the next song. This song is called Tomorrow. So it's named after the harvest festival that my other side of the family celebrates, the Dusuns. So let's play the song first. It's an original composition actually.
Yay!
Yes.
What Kamaru?
Tomorrow.
Kamaru, right?
Huh?
It's not like Kamaru.
No. It's a very interesting story because we're going into language now. Yeah, which also back in Brunei, a lot of this traditional language is like it's a dying. They will soon like be gone forever because even like my father's generation, they don't know the roots of these languages as well. So it's gonna happen sooner than later lah. Fun fact, where I live, my kampong, the language that we speak, no one else in Brunei speaks. The only other tribe that speaks our language is this tribe somewhere in Sarawak. They're called the Kiputs. Like Kiput, yeah. We speak the same language. But there's like how many kilometers away from each other. So it's quite interesting how like we speak the same language, but we're not even close to each other. And no one has, we don't know how that happened, but yeah, it happens. So this, like, honestly, I don't really understand what Kumaro means, but it's the name of our harvest festival. So that's why I named it Tomorrow. And the reason why I named it Tomorrow is I only listen to this, this kind of music during Harvest Festival. No one plays it anymore. So you hear it maybe like 1-2 days of the year, then that's it. So for this song was a struggle to write, not because of the writing process, but to kind of understand the original scale, like the melody and everything. Because long story short, what I did is there's only like 1 or 2 140p video YouTube. So, and the other source that I have is literally from the aunties, grandpas, uncles in my kampong. They play this. I can literally, they live next door. We don't live far away. We don't need cars. So we can hear them playing, then yeah, I can see them performing it as well. So it's, this is oral tradition, to old ways of learning music. Because these kind of music, they're not written down. There's no records about it. So it's slowly going away unless we do something about it.
Bring it back, bring it back.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. Yeah, back stronger. All right. So the next song is another traditional song from Brunei, from our Dusun so. It's called Parang, but it's not the Parang that you think. No, it's not that one. It's another language. So yeah, this is Parang. the same story. 140p video, but need to drive a bit more because this is a different kampong. That's the only difference. A different set of aunties and uncles. Yeah. So the crazy thing about songs like this is it's very jazzy, not in the sense of literal like sound, but the concept of it, because everything's improvised. So you have a set instrument, and then you just go at it, go by feel. Literally go by. It's oversimplifying, but everything is, a lot of it is improvised. They do have like a set rule, but that's kind of like 50% of it, and then the rest is a lot of drinking. Yeah. Traditionally speaking, but yeah, we kind of like, now it's kind of like 60-70% flat, 30% drinking. So yeah, I think it's kind of like, it's very inspiring, like these traditional songs, because again, like I like listening to jazz, and I find like the same concept of like whatever we understand jazz nowadays can be found in traditional music from where we're from. So that's kind of like one of the inspirations of why, like, okay, let's reharm the heck out of traditional music with respect. That's why the melodies don't change. All right, so I'm actually talking a lot so that we can prepare for the next song. Are you ready for the next song? All right, yeah. Okay. Respect the sape. The thing with sape is you need to tune to the instrument. So it's not like a guitar. So yes. So the next song we're gonna go to Sabah. So the song is a traditional Lundaya song called Elisha. So that is called Alay Sakapi. Alay is dancing. Sakapi is the name that the Dundayan calls the sapi. So the sapi is like I would say it's like it's not like one walk. It's like a Dayak instrument. So for those who don't know, Dayak is literally how do I explain it? The Muruts, the Dusuns, the Kenya, the Kalabe. It's Dayak is just the generalized name of all the tribes on Borneo. So we also sometimes share the same instrument, and the sape is one of the instruments.
Sorry,
So
your
the-
face.
the sape is one of the instruments that a lot of the Wak share as well. So it's called different names because it's different languages, different Waks. Alright, so we've come to the last song of the set.
No.
So we're trying to do more shows.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, this is the last song. We're staying in Sabah anyway. This is a song from. Remember when I said like there are Muruts everywhere? And there's also like before the whole idea of countries, borders, and everything. Borneo is literally just one big island. So we're all over the place. Like the Muruts are all over the place. Everybody's all over the place. And this is a ethnic Murut song from Sabah, and it's called Anggalang Magunate. Have you guys seen those, like, I don't know, tourism videos where they dance while trying to make sure that their foot doesn't get hit by bamboo sticks?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the song that they use for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is the last song because we feel like we might get hit by bamboo sticks. So in this song. Yeah, so. Yeah, but then, wow, okay, that actually reminded me. I don't know how. I want to give a huge thanks to the people up on here on stage.
Yeah.
So I'll start from my left. This is Lovrin on Sape. She's doing an amazing job, even though this is her first time with a band. It's crazy. Right on passage. Okay. On her right is Ridwan on Ceruling. I would say Cerulings. Cerulings. Yes, a lot of Cerulings. Adds an amazing texture to an amazing texture to the set as well. It's like it's just one melodic instrument, and whenever he plays, it just covers everything. So it's crazy. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah. So over here with 2 keyboards and 1 tablet and 1 laptop is Jan.
Yeah.
Jan's amazing because I didn't ask him to bring 2 keyboards, and then he has his own like lintang patch as well. I didn't ask him to do this, but yeah, he did. Last but not least, behind me is Keith on drums. Went through a lot. He needs more drinks, so if you wanna get drinks for Keith, just say drinks for Keith. Yeah, and my name is Elisha Tiga. And this is the Elisha Tiga experiment. Thank you everyone here for coming. This is Anggalang Magunate.
Okay. Okay.
So this time around we can really like an offering, trying to sing welcoming and happiness.
What here?
Hey, you drink your coffee first.
You see,
Give me that minute.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Okay.